tweeter what that downloads. Okay. Confusing. Autobahn, SH. Why is it called fuzzing server? We said not that. I guess we still need to have the spec called fuzzing server.json. It's fine. I think maybe we have a problem here. That the URL should be there. There you go. Yeah, so we need one for the socket server, 2012, and 2112, and 2113 is the actual test suite. I don't understand how this works. So I'm gonna run that, and we'll do OCaml run param b. So if something breaks loudly, then you get that. So if I run this thing to start a test suite container, above command will also mount a host directory reports. Oh, this is for clients. No, I don't want to test the client. I want to test the server. No, I'm here waiting for you. And the autobahn test is a little more complicated. Autobahn. Yes, more setup, right? But it shouldn't be that hard to see from here. So we're building out the fuzzing client. Now we know that. That's fine. And then we do Docker server and we do fuzzing client JSON, and then we're running with those parameters. Perfect. That's fine. We can do that. So fuzzing server should be fuzzing client. Cool. And then Autobahn JSON like that. we will pass a little bit more, which is fine. So move that there. And this port will be 2112, right? Hey Kettle, how's it going? You use R at school and have no idea what I'm writing. Well, so I'm reading right now. This is some Elixir code. This is just a bash script, and the rest of the stuff that you might have seen on screen is OCaml, which if you are using R at school, you probably will be surrounded by people that might know about OCaml, since there's a strong academic sort of background in OCaml as well. It has a lot of industry usage and a lot of cool things are happening in the language lately, right? Which is why I'm writing more and more of it. Yes. But just give me one sec. We're trying to get this thing running. Oh, sorry, that's gonna break. We need all of these things, right? All of them. Connection 9001 refused. And why did it refuse fuzzing client? JSON. How does the fuzzing client work? So we want to put test Autobahn fuzzing client JSON straight there. Fuzzing client JSON, right? We'll do mode, we'll do that, we'll do this. So we can maybe do the params like that. What you talking? Okay, it's running, it's doing something. It's breaking, that's fine. At least it runs, right? It doesn't give me any confidence, like I guess we also have the reports here, servers, index, HTML. Oh no, do I want to open this? This is probably going to be terrible. Okay, it's not updated yet. Please tell me it's not updated, right? Up. What does up mean? Yeah. Nice, we have expectations here. That's good. Very close, Miner. So we're building actually a web server, right? Called Nomad, which is going to support both HTTP 1 and 2 and WebSockets. So we maybe want to update that. 1, 2, and WebSockets. I do see a lot of frames coming in and out, which I think is nice. But I have no idea what the hell are we doing with the frames. Because we have an echo server, right? Which is probably not what they expect. And right now, we are running specification tests, right? For WebSockets to see how far are we from something that, from completion. Concelare, how's it going? All good? Good to hear. God, I don't even know if this is... Maybe they can't even give us a score, right? I think for testing the spec, it's fine to do it locally, right? Especially because of the feedback loops, right? I want to be able to do this very quickly. This is not like performance testing. It's definitely not benchmarking, right? It is just saying, do you behave correctly, right? So if I can get this to behave correctly locally, then yeah, it makes sense to go out there and just get a beefy machine or something like that in AWS, right? And then run some benchmarks at that. Obviously, like once we know that it's working nice, we definitely want to put it somewhere and then run the tests against that, right? Like in a production-like scenario. We had someone on the stream a few days ago that was working on V8, the Google JavaScript engine, that said, well, you want to pick a machine, like your base machine, the smallest machine that you want to support, right? And then you want to run benchmarks and everything there. So that worst case scenario, if somebody has that crappy little machine somewhere, right? Then if it's good, you know that everything above that will probably be good as well. Hey, Xcoding, thanks for the follow. How are you doing? And they recommended getting a Raspberry Pi for that. Yeah, exactly. A Raspberry Pi, literally, right? Exactly that, yeah. And that's kind of cool because a Raspberry Pi is something that I can have here, right? I'm just put inside and then just run on the network, right? We are preparing for New Year's, running a WebSocket specification test called Autobahn. So you run this thing against your web server that implements WebSockets, right? And then it tells you how much you suck. Yeah, and I think so far we will suck a lot. But we also just got started a couple of days ago, so it's fine. I'm just more interested in like having the tool up and running and being able to generate reports. So what code are you cleaning? Your terminal code, like your dot files? What did you release? Wow, your own term. That's super cool. Nice. Yeah, of course. Post link. Post link. Go ahead. X terminal. Very original name. Oh, this is nice. Linux like terminal. I like that. Command start. If it was for Mac, I would try it. But let's see. Okay, no video. Huh. Cool. Did you also implement cat in this case, or are you running that through the WSL? That's completely fine, right? In fact, like some of the projects I work with, since I don't run Windows, like Riot, for example, we don't really test them on Windows. Like we have a thingy here, but it doesn't really run, right? And it breaks. We got more PRs open? Oh no, we had the feedback there. Cool. So we actually got a PR for Riot. Riot, by the way, this is sort of the main project I've been working on. The web server is running on top of this right now. This is an actor model scheduler for OCaml 5. So it lets you write OCaml programs like you write Erlang or Elixir programs. So you write your program with processes, and then it just spreads them across all your cores, and you get type-safe message passing. And we're building some abstractions on top of that, like we have supervisors, we have generic servers. They're limited right now, but they're getting there, right? And we just got a PR earlier today that someone implemented cancelable timers, which is great. It's something that we really needed. and I left some feedback, and this got fixed up here, which is nice. Cool. So the test here sort of goes, you set a timer for sending a message A to yourself, right? And it will get sent, or the timer will tick after 100 microseconds, and then another after 10 microseconds. But you immediately cancel the second timer, right? So then if you wait with a timeout of 10 milliseconds, right? If you receive the message A, this one, then it worked. Canceling the timer worked. If you don't, if you get a B message, then the second timer did not get canceled, right? If you get anything else, then that's no message was sent. Actually, this will be a case where some other message got sent, but neat, very neato. So we're gonna check the status of CI, approve and run. We need to approve this thing. And we'll see how that goes. It will run in just a little bit. And it will close this issue that we've had open for a couple of months now, since October. Oof, this Autobahn stuff. I think it's slow because my server is crap, so it's timing out. And the timeout seemed to be pretty high. From looking here, let's say if we jump into a case, it times out after 480 seconds. That's a long time to time out. And we need to go all the way to 13.718, and we are at 9. So my guess is that this will take a little bit to run. It might be easier to just sit and look at this PR. Oh, you wrote all the commands from scratch. Nice. Super cool. If you like that kind of low-level work, honestly, I could use a hand with Riot and making it work on Windows. I don't have a Windows machine to run on, and there's a lot of low-level stuff that we're doing there, right? Scheduling, for example, syscalls to be able to, if a process wants to read a file, we don't want to block that entire scheduler, right? We just suspend the process and then wait for that file to be available, and then we read a little bit, right? And so on and so forth. And some of that stuff right now is just failing grossly on the Windows CI. It would be fantastic. Yeah. I would really appreciate that. Have you written any F# if you're on the .NET platform? You have not? Okay. Because OCaml and F# are cousins, right? Like, it wouldn't be that different if you had. They're not the same, right? But they're close enough. No worries. Cool. PowerShell is a strange language to me. I haven't really used it. It looks really cool. I had a friend that the moment he learned how PowerShell worked, he was just like, "Oh my God, you need to learn this thing. We need to start using this for everything." And I'm like, "But I need to change my entire setup to work on Windows and do PowerShell stuff." And even then, it's not like people build full applications in PowerShell, or at least not that I know of. What are we listening to? 21 Pilots. Interesting. So this is too long. I think there's a test that got hung up here. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna finish unless we can set the timeout to much lower. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to include less cases so that this actually finishes at some point. So we can do maybe this and like 2-star, right? And maybe even 3-star. And then we'll run this again. So it should be much faster. We got a song request here. It's called Riot of the Ancients. Rise of the Phoenix, Rise of the Ancient Marine, Ancients, by the Budos. Going straight there. Oh. Huh, we passed things. We definitely passed some things. Woo! Look at that. This is so exciting. I'm gonna tweet about it. With the clipboard, going to the Twitterverse. So ping pongs were doing very poorly. Most of them are unclean, but 1,000, I don't know what that is. So let me run everything then, because we definitely were not looking at the right spot. And that kind of sucks because we had results here that we don't have access to anymore. See, like, I think. Well, I I don't know how to answer that. But what I can tell you is that, at least for me, it's kind of it, the hardest part is just getting sort of physically exhausted. Like at some point, it's like, oh, I can't think anymore, right? But while I can think, then I can code, and I spend a lot of long weekends in my teenage years, right, coding for many hours, and so in my 20s as well. So I feel like I've developed some sort of resistance, right? Um, yeah, I don't know if that works, but I also don't really believe that, you know, after 4 hours you're not productive anymore, right? I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but it definitely doesn't apply to me. I do feel like a very clear decline in like performance, mental performance, right? Around the 10 to 12 hour mark. It also depends on how much of like what have I eaten, how much I've eaten, right? Whether I've been sleeping well or not, and so on. But I could probably pull 12-hour days every day, or maybe have a weekend every now and then to not code. But in practice, I don't really code like that all the time, right? Just really, really, really enjoy it. It gives me a lot of energy. Yeah, we have done a lot today. We've had other streams where I think we built more. So I think today was mostly a lot of frustration trying to figure out where the bugs were, right? But we did fix a lot of stuff, and we got a lot of stuff up and running. Okay, so it does look like most of the higher tests we have nothing to show for. So let's just look at that build folder and see what we have there. We wanted to see this and see what the hell happened there in the test. That's fine. If that fails, I don't care right now. I am looking for the other test. Where are you? Where is our new test? And Ubuntu is definitely hung in there. Yeah. I think we want to rebase this PR. Because in the latest master that we have actually added timeouts to all the tests. So you know what? We're going to do something. I'm going to... How can we rebase this? Rebase. Okay, so we'll do something. If this fails here, we will just merge it, and if we have still a bug in the test, we'll fix it. That's it. I don't like PRs open, I like them merged. Okay, it looks like we're not even close to any of the other ones, and that this will only generate this little JSON or HTML file, right? When it does something there. Yeah, like we have the results there. But none of this actually have done anything. No worries. This is good though. This is still good. already failed on Ubuntu. So doing test. Hello, Eternal Neat. Happy New Year for you. Still last year here for you or for us, but from your point of view. I work as a computer person. I do computer things. Hello, Rare Beastie. Thanks for the follow. Thanks, Miner. What's happening with these tests? They're failing like crazy. Okay, you know what? CI right now, in here at least, is not looking very stable. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna approve because the change makes sense to me. Amazing. Thanks, leads, John. Raise hands. Raised hands. Let's get this merged. We're gonna do a squash and merge, and we don't need that commit there. But we're gonna do feat, make timers cancelable, and then this will actually close as number 10. Confirm squash. Boom. Do you do MOOCs? No, I don't do MOOCs. I think they can be amazing, right? There is a couple of OCaml MOOCs that are super cool. Learn OCaml, you can find them here. Some of this, I forget exactly where it is. Here, this one. Is it this one? Yeah. Which is actually very high quality, is recommended by a bunch of people. Mostly what I would say, if you want to get better at programming, then you have to program a lot. Read a lot of code. Definitely read a lot of code. Get comfortable reading other people's code so you can learn faster from their mistakes, right? Hyperfocus definitely helps. I'm not medicated at the moment, so it's pretty easy to fall into hyperfocus and be like, oh, can't stop, won't stop, need to finish the thing. Okay, cool. So we have that. That's one PR merged, one issue closed. Love it. So we're going to go here into Riot, where we have a couple of commits to push. We definitely want to... I think I kind of want to get rid of this too. I don't know. Let me do a branch here. Feat IO MOOCs again. And then we're going to go back to the main branch and we're going to do a fall, reset, hard, origin, main. And then we're going to do a pool. Really? We just merged. Okay, yeah. Do eval, PAM, and then we do build, right? No, sorry, that's not what I mean. I mean build things. You can get really good at algorithmics, right? If you do lead code and that sort of thing. But there is a big difference between programmers that are good at that kind of problems and programmers that are good at building stuff. That's good. The fact that these things are failing now makes sense because we are using that address in other tests. But if we go into the cancelable timer test, and if we just like add a new variant here just to try it out, doing test. Fine. That worked. Perfect. It works. It does the thing. Oh, you learned how to build products by building products. I'm excited about this. Cancelable timers, that's working fine. We can probably get rid of this though. No, I think it's okay. I think the nicer way would be to do that. But it's just a cosmetic change. Yeah. So if we didn't get A, so if we didn't cancel that, then I expect that test to fail. Right? Yes. Perfect. So maybe your question is like, what do we mean by building products, right? And I would say anything that you build that other people will have to use. Could be a library, right? Could be a website, could be an app for your phone or your watch or your computer. Could be a tiny status bar application, right? Anything that you build that will have someone on the other side sort of depending on that or using it. I would call that a product, right? It solves a specific problem, right? And you have to figure out what the problem is and how to sort of fix it, how to solve it. And there will be a million solutions to it, right? Um, but only some of them will be buildable in time. Um, yeah, but as Pontus says, Pixel Hero says, if you want to get good at lead code, you have to do lead code. I personally don't think that doing a lot of lead code is that useful, right? Especially for getting jobs, for example. Most jobs out there as a programmer will not be lead code heavy, right? Even though they might have lead code interviews. I think something changed in the machines we're running on because we all of a sudden can't do this anymore. Yeah. Anyways, let's see how Nomad is doing. So this is not going to continue. That's fine. Let's see then if we can, right, get a scorecard out of the H2 spec. Hmm. So we can call it with like that, and at least we will get. No, what did I do? Do not open Xcode. That doesn't make sense. Just open a browser. It will be fine. I promise you, Mac, if you open this file in a browser, it will be okay. Okay. So Bandit, how does Bandit generate, right? Their nice little reports. So I think they have H2 reports here, H2 spec, summary, right? Dropping the memes. You have become quite the meme maestro. Look at this goals, right? Okay, so Autobahn can run pretty fast if, or rather, no. Okay, so these are all of the different subsuites. They're pretty big. Maybe they're split up like that for a reason. Now this is the benchmark. Tons we can learn from them. Tons indeed. But I don't think they have reports for the H2 spec suite. Nice. We'll do a round around the projects and see what we have. If there's any new issues opened. Benchmark. Nobody commented anything here. Link. We still have an issue open there. That makes sense. That should go away when we make all of this depend on trail. Even if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but at least trail will have request response types that we'll be able to share across the entire sort of Riot stack. Store, no new issues or stuff like that. This fails? What the hell? No, I guess we need all these things for test, but we don't have them there. Okay. Then Minty is failing. And I'm guessing for similar reasons. Yeah, because we need the latest Riot. We need to figure out how to work through that. What was the last thing we merged? Oh, right, we fixed the alt screen rendering behavior. That was great. Serde, we need to pay attention to this and fix some implementation stuff. Trail, we haven't done much, so it's fine. That's secret, that's secret, that's secret. TTY, we have an issue open here. Yeah, one day we'll get to it. Ooh, look at that. First repo that actually has a passing CI. Hook also fails, probably because of tests. Minty, it's not right, and we need that for the test. Colors is passing at least, that's good. And then Chatty was the thing we were working on one of the streams. It's a Twitch client, actually, built on top of Riot, right? That uses the IRC protocol to connect to Twitch and get stuff out. Okay. So we are just a few seconds away from 13 hours of streaming. And I wonder who could we go raid. Learning WebGL. Oh, I think, did Adrian change his name? Yeah. Yeah, he definitely changed his name. Begin bot. Rust or bust. Python dev. What are they doing here? Let's see. That's creepy as fuck. Python dev. We can't really see what they're building. Anniversary stream. Dupe. Auroral games. For threaded applications? Could be. All right, we're gonna go raid Adrian. Don't tell him though. Everyone, this has not been the last stream of the year. I think when I wake up, I have nothing better to do because that's how my year is gonna end. So I'll be building more camel crap, most likely after a few phone calls over the 12 midnight thing. Then I will be back at it. Until then, let's go into Adrian Learns. And that didn't work. Raid Adrian Learns. The raid has been created, folks. Let's go have fun. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a great new year if I don't catch you before that. And yeah, let's do it.